It was the opening ceremony that has caused a global uproar, actually, around arguably a satanic type, leaning ceremony.
My thing was like, why bring this into sports? Like, it's such a like Olympics is such a beloved kind of the whole event.
Yeah.
Every 4 years, like you wait for it, athletes go into it. Like the opening ceremony, like from the start, they just kind of like turned it into a more political and just took a stance that doesn't need to be there in sports.
Allegedly, you saw the bullet fly through,
Yeah, no, there's
and
a
then
photo,
and then the
yeah.
people behind him got hit. So there definitely were bullets flying. But even the staging, like, what are you there to gain? He has mass popularity anyways. And if it were staged,
Yeah.
why would CNN air a live event if it were staged
That's
to
true.
help Trump?
I guess the opposing argument is like because he knows he's going to lose, so he needs something to kind of back him up, something like that.
But why would CNN air it live?
Yeah, that's a good point.
If it were gonna help him. We know CNN is not a big Trump supporting,
Yeah,
broadcast. So either side, you got to go out and vote.
yeah. Because the worst thing is if you don't vote, you're not moving any needle.
You're not moving any needle.
Yeah.
You're like,
Even if you think voting like doesn't have any impact, even if it has like a 5% impact, you're still doing good.
it doesn't even have to be fire. It could be
Yeah.
0.01% impact.
But you're making sure that if you don't vote, you're not making any impact.
You're doing a zero. You're being basically, as going back to our first clip, you're being like the Christian, not drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, whatever.
Except
And if you don't vote, you can't complain. Like, if you're gonna dish it, you gotta take it. Yo, what is up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win, affectionately called Ninja or Prolific Ninja by my friends and my family. And because my fans are my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Back in the studio, excited to be here, finally seeing some sunshine in Houston, Texas. Day 2 of my 72-hour end of the month fast. I feel great. Hungry as hell, but I feel great. Mental clarity is off the charts. Once that 48-hour kicks in, it really kicks off the charts as far as for me in my mental clarity, because all the sugars are gone, all the carbs are gone, and I'm going on pure, straight, natural, hormones and energy that I'm producing out of my own body. And so the mental clarity is outrageous right now. If you're new to the show, I always start my show as I start my day. So when I wake up every morning, I thank God, the universe, for another day, another opportunity to spread some sunshine and some inspiration around, hopefully inspire somebody to live to their fullest controllable potential, which is our mission on the show. And so with that, I want to thank you all, my supporters, friends, family that have listening consistently now for almost 2.5 years. We're now on episode 119. We've gone 119 shows straight on a weekly basis without missing. And so I want to thank all of you all out there for being positive and supporting the show. Most importantly, sharing the show. And so we work on a mantra here that, I do this on my own dime, on my own time, without any sponsorships other than my own businesses. And so with that, there's a whole team, spent a whole lot of money, a whole lot of time in production to bring you this content. So I like to live by this mantra. If you learn something from this show, or you think you got something valuable, found it entertaining, this show, any other episode, please do share the show. I like to say, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. Please share the show. If you find this, something valuable for somebody you might know, please share the show. If you didn't like the show, hell, share the show. Doesn't matter. Please share the show. Leave us reviews. Rate us, review us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Please do comment, like, follow, and most importantly, share. We bring multiple types of episodes, mostly 90% of the time, it's just me giving a 10, 15, 20-minute monologue about some success concept or philosophy that I want to share with everyone. But then we also bring on guests, which are longer shows. And then I bring on my producer, who's here with me today, Arib Mirza. We do prolific POV, which is point of view, and then prolific Q&A. Q&A is more like success, thought-oriented questions that Arib would ask me. But today, because there's so much chaos going on in the world in the last week or two. Arib Mirza, how's it going, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. And if you haven't listened to any of the show with Prolific POV or Q&A, you can follow Arib Mirza at letter I, Arib, Areeb, Mirza on socials. He shares a lot about content creation, production, video capture, graphics and all that. But then you can also follow his business, which is Focus, FOKUS.vid on all socials. Man, how you been, dude?
Pretty good. How are you?
Are you surviving through this chaos?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In the heat, in the
Everyone
rain?
is.
You know, if you haven't been
All
following...
types of chaos.
All types of chaos. It all started with a hurricane, which took out...
Like literal chaos.
literal chaos.
World chaos.
Trees.
Political
falling.
chaos. Yeah.
Murder attempts. All these things. So with that, you got some good juicy stuff for us on POV today?
Yeah.
All right, let's go, man.
Let's go straight into it.
Okay, so for POV, this is either current events or some type of issue. I have no idea what Arif's going to bring up. Man, I hope you brought some heat today. What we got?
All right, so let's go straight into it. I'm going to put it on
that looks like something I've seen before.
Yeah.
It's the opening to the Olympic Games, the opening ceremony where the blue massive Smurf is jumping on the table, allegedly making a mockery of Da Vinci's Last Supper painting and the backlash from that. All right. What we got? What's the question here, man? So if I don't know if we're able to show this because a lot of it's getting banned on YouTube, but
It's not getting banned.
It's getting throttled or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought it was getting banned. But in any case, it was the opening ceremony that has caused a global uproar, actually, around arguably a satanic type, leaning ceremony.
Yeah. My thing was like, why bring this into sports? Like, it's such a, like, Olympics is such a beloved kind of the whole event.
Yeah.
Every 4 years, like, you wait for it, athletes go into it. Like, the opening ceremony, like, from the start, they just kind of like turned it into a more political and just took a stance that doesn't need to be there in sports. That's how I saw it. I was like, why?
Okay. So that I'm sure a lot of people are asking that.
Yeah.
And so before I get into the why, if you're watching, I want you all to go YouTube or search the 2012 opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in, I want to say, London.
What happens?
So in 2012, the opening ceremony is a bunch of kids in beds getting read like a bedtime story. And then all of a sudden it turns into this demonic forecasting of COVID. Like, they basically foretold COVID in 2012.
So were they wearing masks and stuff, or?
They're bringing masks. Nurses
wow.
were dancing. There was this massive demon. They brought out spiked balls, like the spike protein. Like, we can bring it up right now. But you will see, if you look up the video of 2012 opening ceremony in the UK, it almost forecasted COVID, which came about in 2020.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the question to your why is, it goes back to a couple things, right? If you want to control the populace, where do you most effectively spread your message?
Where there's the most attraction.
Where there's most attention.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of talking to 1 million people, wouldn't it be easier to sending 1 million messages? It's easier to send one message when 1 million people are watching.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right? That's why celebrities are highly sought after, because they can send the message once and their whole fan base gets the message.
Yeah.
Right? So you can send whatever, you can, hey, celebrity A. I'm not going to name a name because I don't want to get sued, but you're a massive celebrity with 10 million followers. I can say, Arif, here's $1 billion, bro, but I need you to send this message.
Yeah, we need you to support this
We need you
political
to support
campaign.
this political cause.
Yeah.
We need to support this angle. I need
Absolutely.
you to support, reading nursery rhymes naked to kindergarten children. Would you do it? $1 billion?
Would I have a choice to do it?
No, well, that's the other question. That's the other question, right? So, but that's what happens. Yeah. And so the Olympics is not every country, but countries where they have athletic teams are all in the Olympics. So most likely, more than likely, that populace is watching.
It's a global stage.
It's a global stage. It's a global, all eyes are on the Olympics. And so what other better way to send a message than through the opening ceremony where everybody's watching?
Yeah.
Because they're parading every country through, right? And so the opening ceremony is where you get the most attention. Because if not, you're just watching the event that your athlete is participating in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So In this one, what was the I mean, what did you take from that, right?
Yeah, my follow up question to this is because obviously I'm getting into the details now. They're making kind of like a mockery of a certain religion. What is your stance on that, and why is that people of that certain religion not taking a stance up?
Uh, that's a good question, right? If I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I
Mhm.
believe in good and evil. I believe there's a God, a greater hand in the universe that
Yeah.
guides things. Um, man, yeah, this goes pretty deep. So this goes back to a lot of things. It goes back to the idea that this realm is governed by Satan because he was kicked out of heaven to earth. So
Yeah.
people think hell is somewhere below earth. No, we're living in hell
Yeah.
right now. And we have to rise above the morals of satanic belief in order to get back to heaven, if you believe that spiritual path, right? And so that's why this realm is the materialistic realm. It's a 3-dimensional realm,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's nothing wrong with materialism. I like fast cars and stuff too, right? But that's not my motive. My motive is spreading goodwill, spreading inspiration, helping people, and the byproduct is making money in their career and being able to get material things. But the material thing is not my motivation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So most people here, however, society, pop culture, it's about the material thing. Let me show off my material thing. Let me show off my, whatever, $5,000. I forget which brand it was. Hermes bag that was made with for $50, right? It's that material rat race that drives this pop culture, and that's, Satan is like a 3D thing.
Yeah.
Like, pledge your loyalty to me, and I'll give you the entire world, right? Look at that cat-like reflexes, bro. Still got it. But pledge allegiance to me, and I'll give you the world. Well, the world is here.
Yeah.
It's not, I'll give you heaven. I'll let you rule heaven.
Yeah. I'll give you material things here.
I'll give you material. I'll make you a king, a god here on earth.
Yeah.
If you pledge your allegiance to me.
Absolutely.
Right? So, to the point of the Olympics, and this is all speculation, right? This is, I could be a crazy man. You can call me crazy. You can unfollow me, whatever.
It's just a discussion.
But on a global, on a vast picture, is it a battle between good and evil?
Yeah, my thing is like, even if
why? Because half the world population is Christian, or 2 billion people.
Yeah.
Why throw something like this in their faces?
Exactly.
On a global platform.
Yeah. And then calling it art.
Or this is for inclusiveness, and
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about this. And nothing against heavy, overweight, out of shape people. Okay. The Olympic Games is about peak athleticism on an amateur level.
Yeah.
So why is the spotlight a heavy, overweight female/male, whatever she wants to be called? I don't know who this person is. Why are you spotlighting that when the Olympics is about peak amateur athleticism, arguably professional, because you have professional NBA players there? So the whole question is why. You got to ask yourself, well, I don't have an answer for why, but why is it this? Why is it not celebratory of performance, or celebratory of the human spirit, or the overcoming of challenges or setbacks? Right? Why isn't that not the message?
And these are valid questions. Like, actually ask yourself before even getting offended. Like, why?
Why? Yeah, why? Why?
If it's like if it's a sports made for athletes, like top tier level athletes that prepare like their whole lives for this, and they're advertising it like that, it's just like, why?
Yeah, why is that there? And and you didn't bring up the one image of the arguably the fourth horse of the 4 horsemen in Revelations.
Yeah.
The apocalypse. Like, they brought out a mechanical white horse and a figure riding the horse. Like, some people are saying that's so that's that part of it all. Like, why portray this?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not even watching the Olympics, to be honest with you. I didn't even know it was coming. Like, so, but kudos to those
Yeah.
people that are taking a stance against this, right? I think Samsung withdrew its $1 billion sponsorship of the Olympics.
Nice.
So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a new Samsung supporter.
There you go. I have Samsung in my pocket.
Yeah, but like people are responding. There was a massive, I want to say, Catholic or Christian ceremony the following day. Andrew Tate, you know, boycotting the Olympics. He was out protesting in
Exactly.
Romania, saying, you know, and he's Muslim. He's like, this is, you know. But the flip side is that I want to say of all the religions and faiths, Christianity is the most forgiving.
Yeah.
And at some point,
And why is that?
I don't know.
Is it because it's like they take it lightly?
No, this is more a controversial take. It's more there's more hypocrisy,
Yeah.
right? I can do bad
is-
as long as I repent.
Is forgiving the right word, or is it like,
No. It's people project what they feel inside.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're guilty of something and you want to be forgiven, how would you project yourself?
and I want to be forgiven?
I've done okay. So
Yeah.
most Christian faith, you know, while they don't condone bad behavior, they allow bad behavior as long as you what? Repent.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If you repent, confess your sins and all that, you're forgiven. Okay? So that allows a wiggle room to be a hypocrite. Right? I can do bad. I'm gonna scream my religion to you. I can still be bad as long as I repent. Right? So it leaves a wiggle room to misbehave, let's say. Right? Because in your mind, you're like, as long as I repent, I can still do bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, we're inherently sinful as humans, you know, but I'm just saying. So my point is then, if you feel guilty about doing bad things, because I don't care if you repent, you're still going to feel guilty, right? And you're looking for forgiveness.
Yeah.
How would you project that feeling? You're going to be more forgiving.
Yeah. So
It's like, let me give you more forgiveness, so hopefully you can forgive me
yeah.
for doing bad shit.
So my thing is like doing bad things is another thing, and like making a mockery of a religion is another thing.
Well, that's the thing. So that what leads to the Christian faith to be more forgiving,
Yeah.
right? Which is great. It's great to be forgiving.
Yeah. It has its ups and downs. Yeah.
But at some point, you have to draw the line,
Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
What is it? You know, if in Christian faith, and I'm not a religious scholar by any means. I'm probably a novice in these things. Spirituality is different. Religious, I'm not. But I do know that Mary Magdalene, I think she was a prostitute, and Jesus forgave her, and she was one of his followers, right? And so it is good to give, but at the same time, even Jesus drew the line. He went into the temples and people were charging taxes and, you know, being blasphemous in the temples. And so he would flip tables over and get angry.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the part that is missing, I think, in today's Christian, I don't want to call it faith or religion, but how Christians live their lives. Like at some point you got to draw the line. Like, I can't forgive this.
Yeah. There is no line.
And right now there's no line
There is
because
no
it's been watered out, diluted out in our society.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm afraid to be called a racist when you want to make a stand against something you know is immoral.
Yeah. Like you can't even make a stand anymore. I
Well,
would argue.
you've been indoctrinated to not make a stand, but once you don't give a fuck about what people think, you make a stand.
Yeah.
You draw
You
draw a line in the sand.
Yeah, the perfect example is like the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. They wanted to put the LGBTQ flags. Qatar was like, we don't allow that.
Yeah,
And
you got to.
they had a line. They're like, no, we don't allow that stuff.
Yeah.
Please keep that away.
Yeah,
And I would argue like they won't even like hold a big event in like Middle East now
yeah,
because of that like a line.
yeah.
France is like the perfect place to do this.
Well, France, they don't care. Like,
they
it's,
don't
it's
care.
a laissez faire, whatever. But like, yeah, you have to. I mean, that's a Muslim faith,
Yeah.
and so you got to draw a line in the sand and say, this is the line. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Like, you can come play. You can bring your team to play soccer, or you can't. You don't want to. But this is what we're drawing.
Yeah.
Like there was a surfer who had, I want to say, either Jesus or a cross on a surfboard, and they wouldn't allow it.
Why?
Why? Why? Like, Olympic level, he's a competitor. I don't know if he or she, I don't know if it's he or she, but I know the story that there was a surfboard that had a cross on it or Jesus on it on the bottom. And so, you're surfing and they wouldn't allow him to compete, that person to compete. And so I don't know if he withdrew or not, but, why implement that
Exactly.
philosophy if you have this type of opening ceremony?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, on the flip, I want to make the counterpoint. The flip counterpoint was that they're not making fun of the Last Supper. They're making fun, I want to say, of a French deity, ancient Greek deity called Dionysus or something like that. And
I'll look it up. Yeah.
and they're doing the last, I don't know, last party orgy of Dionysus, because he was a troublemaker type deity, as I understand it. But I don't know. Either way, it looks like the Last Supper to me. The point being is that why put this out there on an Olympic Games
In front of millions and billions.
in front of billions, arguably,
In front of billions.
ceremony?
Everyone knows.
Yeah. Now, again, I wasn't even planning on watching the Olympics anyways.
Yeah.
But this only gives me a further reason to not watch it, because I don't need to see.
I'm
this
not even
stuff.
following it.
Like, arguably, there was a,
For now.
now there's the conspiracy, the silver. Like, where do I have my tinfoil hat? I need to make a tinfoil hat. The tinfoil hat is going back, I think, one episode where we talked about the method of the reveal, karmic balance. Okay. Karmic balance is, I have to tell you what I'm going to do to you bad before I do the bad thing to you. And if I tell you and you don't do anything about it, that karma is on you, not me, because I told you.
Yeah.
Like, Arib, when you walk out this building, I'm going to shoot you 3 times. And you're like, ha, 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 whatever, man. And then you walk out the building and I shoot you 3 times.
It's my fault. Yeah.
There's a philosophy that says that's your fault because I told you and you did nothing. You didn't go a different direction. Yeah. That's not my fault. I told you I was going to do it.
Like, you can even say, like, God gave you the sign, you didn't listen.
And you didn't listen.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the tinfoil hat side of me says, okay, if 2012 they did an opening ceremony about COVID, what is this saying about what's going to happen in the future?
What is this thing?
I don't know. I don't know. But you look at every great civilization, the more and more transgenderism was pushed into society. And I have nothing against transgenders.
Exactly.
You think what you want to think. But when you enforce your ideals on other people, that's where I'm like, hey, yo, you got to chill.
Exactly.
Right.
Same boat.
So you want to be gay, bisexual, whatever. That's your prerogative. Don't throw it on other people.
Yeah.
But history says the Roman culture, the Greek culture, every great society, when this type of stuff started getting into the public and becoming public issues, right? That's when society collapsed.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, 4 Horsemen, this stuff, I don't know what they're trying to reveal, but it's not foretelling good things.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, for all we know, it could be innocent. Like,
yeah.
but
I
it
don't
just.
know. No. Because here's the thing. What is a core, again, nothing against transgender, what you believe, your sexual identity, all that's on you. I have nothing against it. Live your life.
You do you. Yeah.
You do you. But from my belief, what is the core, even biblical, scientific fact?
Man, woman.
There's a man and there's a woman. In the Bible, in most religious texts, there's a man, there's a woman. Now, when you've trained society to mentally blur the lines to not be able to define which is which, what happens to society?
It falls down.
It falls apart because now you have no idea what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right. Not man is not a woman. What, like, you don't know.
Question your own thoughts.
You question your own thoughts and morality and spirituality and philosophy.
Yeah.
And once you start questioning yourself, you have no control over your own soul.
Yeah, the only thing you have control over is your mind, and once you lose control
And
over
once
that,
you lose, yeah, exactly. And you have no idea what's up, what's down, what's right, what's wrong, what's true, what's false. You have no idea.
that's where the actual control happens.
You have no anchor.
Yeah.
So once you cut the anchor off, now you can brainwash people to believe whatever you want them to believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
But the anchor core truth, whether you're spiritual, religious, or scientific, there's a man and there's a woman. Now you can identify with whatever you want to identify, but fundamentally, by the DNA chromosomes and all that microscopically in an atomic level, there's a man, there's a woman. Immutable. Just like Bitcoin. Immutable. Right? Immutable. So once you blur that and confuse that line, society falls apart.
Yeah, and just to like wrap this up, even with religion, like I have the utmost respect for every single religion. So
Absolutely.
So even if like when I see this, it kind of makes me sad. I'm like, okay, why is nobody kind of taking a stance and just shutting this off? Like Olympics should be canceled.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
It
like,
should be. No, but there are like Samsung, like I said, is withdrawing $1 billion of sponsorship.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and again, like I don't have a problem with transgenderism. I don't have like a problem with people following their own religion. But if you mix the two together and just make it an agenda to push people, that's where it kind of becomes an issue.
That's a no-go.
Yeah.
Like I turn that shit off right away.
Yeah.
Like I don't even question it.
Yeah.
Like I don't expose my kids to it. You know, thankfully I'm married to somebody who shares the same values. So as soon as that shit comes on, off.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to deal with it. I got 2 more important things to do, man. Than but unfortunately, that's where things are. And so for you all listening, like decide, like why was this portrayed on the Olympic opening ceremony? How does this affect you and your thought and your individual community or your family? Like, what are you supporting this or like, are you if you have children, I don't know, less than 10 years old, are you allowing them to watch this stuff?
Yeah. Just have an open mind.
Have an open mind about it. And again, this is nothing against individual choices, individual thoughts. This is you.
Like we could be wrong as well. It could be completely innocent.
Absolutely. But it's chaos, man. It's chaos in the last week. All right. What's next? No, number 2, man. I like that. That's good. That's heat, bringing heat right out the gate.
All right. So I'm just going to show you an image and then we're just going to go off. Okay. Because we haven't talked about this.
Okay. Oh, we haven't talked about this. Okay. Yeah, we got. It's fine.
All right. So the Trump assassination. There's been a lot of, because it's been a few weeks.
Okay. So wait, if you're only listening on audio,
I just showed you an image of Trump
with the fist pump, bleeding from the ear.
Exactly. Just the iconic photos.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of things that have piled up after that. So we're gonna start off with the assassination. Was it planned? Was it pre-planned? We're gonna talk about his security guards. We're gonna talk about the Biden dropping off because perhaps the Trump assassination wasn't successful. So we're gonna start off with just if it was pre-planned or was it just somebody crazy trying to shoot Trump. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna preface this by saying this is not a political statement. I'm also gonna preface this that I am not a military sniper, security expert. I'm just a regular dude, doing my thing.
This is just a discussion.
It's just a discussion.
We could be 100% wrong.
Okay, it could be entire speculation, no basis in fact. I will say, have an open mind. As I always say, the dots are all around you. It's up to you to connect them.
Yeah.
Okay? There ain't no way in hell a 20-year-old dude with a rifle walking around open grounds with a ladder allegedly is going to climb up to the top of the nearest roof 150 yards away and get off whatever 8 shots.
And people kept reminding, not even reminding, telling them like there's a people on the roof. He has a gun.
And now, as more and more and more details come out, like just connect the dots, man. Supposedly there was and again, I don't know what's true or what's not true. This is all I'm just getting out from what I know from unverified sources. Allegedly, there were officers in the building at the same time on a lower level. There was an officer that stalked him or walked with him for like 20 minutes. This doesn't happen. Honestly, this doesn't, frankly, this doesn't. I've watched videos where, career snipers in the military, Army, Marines, whatever, says this is impossible that this was a random act.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the only building,
The nearest
the
building.
nearest only
the
building.
nearest only building. Now, there allegedly there's also shots from other areas that there are multiple witnesses. The water tower. Somebody allegedly has a video of shots coming from a window. All we know is there's like 6 or 8 shots, and we don't know absolutely from where they came.
Yeah.
Okay. Allegedly, this was the only. Let's think about it this way. How many other Trump rallies were aired live on mainstream media?
None of them.
None of them, except
This one.
this one. Why?
It's a question to ask.
Why would CNN all of a sudden want to air a live Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania?
Could be a coincidence.
Could be a coincidence. Dots are there. You got to just, take your crayon and draw from number 1 to number 2.
Could be just bad timing.
Could be bad timing. Or was it the idea that the bullet was supposed to hit and brains splattered all over national television?
Yeah.
Don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. Right? How do you have, arguably you've seen the video of the lady like trying to holster the gun, Pat, whatever her name is, and she's missing, and then she's like, oh, I can't holster it, so let me just carry it around with me.
Yeah.
Like, how do you have that untrained level of security?
Yeah. And just talking about the same security, like she hid behind the shield, behind the president.
Right. When shots are fired, you jump on the president.
You're supposed to jump on them.
So, no, this same lady was like, in the back. Like,
Yeah.
how does that happen?
And we're not talking about like females in general.
And it's not a former president. He's the leading candidate to be the nominee.
Yeah, we're not just bashing women. We're talking about this specific woman. Like she wasn't doing her job.
Nothing against this woman.
Yeah.
Nothing. Maybe she wasn't trained properly. Maybe I don't know. I've never been in that heat of the moment, so maybe I would have hidden too, but unlikely. But you never know, right? You never know. There's just too many things. Random, pure coincidence.
Yeah.
That the probabilities is like probably 0.0 billionth of a chance that this was entirely random.
Yeah.
Like
even the shooter, like he didn't have any online presence at all.
No online presence, no social media.
Presence,
Supposedly they tracked a phone that went to his residence and went back to the building right next to the, I don't want to say the three letter agency.
Yeah.
Like, the parents were calling hours beforehand. We don't know where our guy is. Like, there's just too much. Look, man, it's Occam's razor, which is the simplest explanation is the most likely explanation. So when you look at all the coincidences, all the facts, all the details, everything that's come out, the FBI director quits the next day or after the hearing 2 weeks later, like all these things, what is the most simplest explanation?
Could be staged.
Staged or set up.
Set up, yeah.
Staged or set up.
But my question is,
but the odds of clipping a moving ear as a staged with a ketchup packet, you ask any sniper, like world-class sniper, there no way you're hitting just the ear from 150. I mean, you're going to hit a target, but you're not hitting the peak of the ear, like a little piece of ear from 150 away moving. There's no way. Now, I could probably hit a sitting target 150 away. And I'm just nobody buying rifles at Academy.
But he's moving.
He's moving.
Yeah.
And so, like,
if that was staged, we'll give it to him.
There's no way. It was unless he had an explosive in his ear that,
No, but we saw the bullet.
But allegedly you saw the bullet fly through.
Yeah. No,
and then the people behind him got hit. So there definitely were bullets flying. But even the staging, like, what are you there to gain? He has mass popularity anyways. And if it were staged, why would CNN?
I guess,
Why would CNN air a live event if it were staged to help?
That's true.
Trump.
Yeah. I guess the opposing argument is like because he knows he's going to lose, so he needs something to kind of back him up, something like that.
But why would CNN air it live?
Yeah, that's a good point.
If it were going to help him.
Yeah.
We know CNN is not a big Trump supporting, broadcast, right? So that kind of nullifies the idea of the staging.
Yeah. Maybe it's like they knew CNN was gonna do it live. Let us state something.
Now we're game theory. I don't know. Maybe,
Yeah.
man. I don't know. Maybe there's no. Obviously I'm never gonna know. We're never gonna know. We don't have that security clearance. But I do know that people in power always have an agenda.
No.
They have an agenda, and you know, and the agenda is often at all costs. Whatever it is, take them out. Take out all the obstacles in our agenda. Not take him out, but take out all the obstacles in the way. Right? And then all of a sudden Biden drops out of the Friday. Biden says, I'm staying in. Saturday, his staff says he's staying in. Sunday, he drops out from a Twitter post, X post, with an arguably inconsistent signature with no letterhead on no official letterhead. It's just I took a paper out of the copy machine and typed up something with a inconsistent signature.
Yeah. He should have just had a tweet, I'm dropping out.
And his staff doesn't even know. Yeah. And they only find out because of this tweet. So do you think he legitimately, his own conscience, whatever he knows, which I don't know how much he knows is actually going on, his reality, did he actually drop out?
I don't think so. I think it was a decision made for him.
The easiest explanation is most often the true explanation. Yeah. If I made a decision to resign from something, wouldn't I make it a formal press conference? I would make it a formal, tell my team. I would make it a formal, tell all my clients or constituents, hey, this is what's happening. All the donors that put money in, hey, take your money back. I'm dropping out.
And in the follow-up question to that is like, then why would they remove Biden if the other option is Kamala?
That might not be the only other option. That's the fact. That's the mistake.
Yeah. So it's still.
Obviously, after the first debate, where Biden did not perform so well.
Yeah. I'll give him props. Like he still showed up, still got his sentences to a point. I was
allegedly showed up, drugged up.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he lost a lot of support. If you're in power and you're like, who is this guy that we're going to put out for the election? Like, I'll put it like this. A more recent event, the Venezuelan elections happened last night.
Yep.
Okay. Or 2 days ago.
It's a chaos.
Chaos. The non-communist candidate won by 70%. He was up 71 to 11.
He won.
He won.
But nothing to discuss.
Just like in 2020, the gap wasn't as big. The gap was like 20%, whatever it was. This is a 50% gap.
Yeah.
Okay. The next morning,
the
next morning, the socialist guy wins.
It's like, whoa.
How do you overcome 50% gap? It's statistically impossible. Right. And that's why this whole upheaval, even the military now is turned against knows this is a bogus outcome.
Yeah.
So the military's flip sides. The leader of the MS-13 or whatever the gang is in Venezuela, they flip sides. They're like, you got to go with whatever the people voted.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So.
And this.
So here's the thing, though. Right. And if you, I'm not a conspiracy guy. I'm not alleging anything around 2020 elections. But if you look at the vote chart, it's like, you know how in 2020 it's like this is like Trump and Biden, and then at 3 a.m. it goes straight up, and then it goes like that. Okay, if you look at the Venezuelan graph, it's the same damn thing, except this is so wide, and then at 2 a.m. it goes straight up, and then it goes like that.
I don't know who these people are too.
So here's the thing. So going back, if you wanted to use the same method of, quote, stealing an election, you can't have a big enough gap.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, man, this is such bullshit. Yeah. Like that line goes straight up 50%.
I mean, isn't
so I'm saying that Biden is out because that gap would have been too wide in November to, quote, steal an election.
It's true.
right? If the gap at 12 a.m. is 50 points between Trump and Biden, let's hypothetically say, there's no way you can have this many mail-in ballots,
Yeah.
to cover 50 percentage
and
points.
America won't do that.
No,
They're
no.
smarter
You would
than
have America would turn into what Venezuela looks like now. Total outrage.
that. Absolutely.
So
And I guess that destruction in the whole country is evident to the fact that that was not the case. Like the destruction in the whole country, the whole riots and everything is evident to the fact
Which
that that was
country?
not the case. Venezuela.
what do you mean?
In Venezuela, like all the riots and everything, like that's evident to the fact that the voting was not that way. Like the 70% is 70% because everyone's out there in the street protesting.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
It validates what the actual numbers are
Exactly.
saying. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing that people aren't thinking about. Trump, assassination attempt on Trump. A week later, Biden drops out. A couple days later, national blackout. Computer systems down. Billions of systems down. Why? All of a sudden, on a driver update,
Yeah.
on a software update, the whole globe shuts down. Why?
Gotta delete something.
You either got to delete something or you got to make something unfindable. You got to do something. You got to go drill holes in some hard drives. You got to do something.
Yeah.
But this doesn't happen on a driver update or a software update where like any cyber technician, security tech would understand, like, okay, we're going to update this section of computers and we're going to update this, test it. Okay, we're going to update this one. You're going to build redundancy.
Exactly.
If you're one of the foremost cybersecurity companies in the world, wouldn't you have the protocol to properly avoid
Exactly.
global shutdown
You need
of
to have
airlines?
steps, layers,
Yeah. Now there's another philosophy too. The other philosophy, okay, so one philosophy is you had to remove some stuff, or you had to hack into some systems that are unhackable to take data out. Maybe communication logs between somebody related to the assassination and, oh man, we missed and blah blah blah. Maybe you had to remove that. Or that was the original plan. Meaning, imagine if Trump actually got unalived. Now we're in massive chaos.
Yeah. Pack your bags.
Pack your bags, let's go, whatever. And then now systems are shut down and you can't fly or go anywhere. Imagine the acceleration of that chaos. The nation would be in chaos, but then all of a sudden the power and systems are out. Now we're in massive chaos.
Yeah. Now lock your doors.
Yeah. And then what happens? Okay, now bring in the military. Now whoever's in power has full control over everybody. Maybe that was the original plan.
Yeah, a little too extreme.
Extreme?
Perhaps possibility though.
Yeah, I don't put past that. I mean, whatever, 2 or 3, 4, 5 months ago, we had, what do you think is going to happen between now and the election? Total chaos.
Yeah.
Right on point. I have it on record. It's going to be total chaos.
Yeah. I don't think Kamala's going to be there for long.
I don't know. Everybody's getting behind her. Everybody's endorsed her.
Yeah, but versus Trump.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. Like you underestimate the forces that be. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like who knows if we're even going to have an election?
Who knows?
There's betting odds that we might not even have one.
It's crazy.
Right? So it's a time of uncertainty. So what do we do about this, right? Again, control what you can control. Be prepared just in case. Keep living your life. Do good by your neighbor, family, and friends. Live in a loving way, right? You can always overcome a negative view if everybody lived in a more compassionate way. Instead of calling people racist, respect other people's opinions, right? Tone down the anxiety, societal anxiety. If we lived more in peace with one another and less divisive, everything would chill out. And it wouldn't be this versus that, or me versus you, or them versus us. It'd just be, all right, it's chill. Cool. Like, again, man, like that level of media and all that is done for a reason. when I'm hanging out with my friends, all types of nationalities, all types of
supporting separate parties.
yeah,
Yeah.
all types of political views, all types of religious and spiritual faiths and backgrounds, and we all chill out and get along.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty remarkable. You go to a car event, nobody cares about none of that. We care about cars and we're hanging out.
Exactly.
So like on our daily lives, if we just come to common ground and spread love and like that, and everybody do their own thing, try to do the best you can, it all works out at the end. It's only when we get in this amplified, anxiety and ego-driven mentality that we start getting all this BS. And maybe that's why they did that on the Olympics, to inflame people, to create anxiety and create conflict and create, a religious war, right?
I mean, if one thing they did right was like everyone's talking about the Olympics.
Any negative PR, any PR is good PR. But I'm saying, maybe that's the reason why is they want to heighten the divisiveness.
Yeah.
And so when we're up here in that anxiety-driven, ego-driven, we're not thinking rationally. We're based all emotional, right? But when we're chilling, hanging out, I kind of flip it. Like back when I grew up, with my friends, people would be racist to me, telling me Asian jokes. I would be racist to them, telling them white and black and Mexican jokes. And we'd laugh and like, that actually ended. Racism can end racism if we just took it as
what it is.
It's like, hey, we're different.
Yeah.
And it's okay to poke fun at our differences too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? And that would end racism, because then we're at a party, we're like, I've seen it where it's like there was an Asian guy and a black dude in a grocery store, and it was like what is it like, I have a black friend, and then they do something, and then the Asian dude said
to avoid being racist.
Yeah, and then the black dude says, I have an Asian friend, I must do da 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 da, right? So it's like, and they're laughing about it.
Yeah.
They're poking fun and they're laughing, and like and you're laughing because it's true.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right.
That's what's wild.
We're different, and so that's why if we just tone down and sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me, and words can't do shit.
Yeah.
Right. And if we can just chill and relax and poke fun at each other, and understand it's not personal, we're just like goofing off and not be offended and all this bullshit. It's like, yeah, I get you, man. It's like, I'm a fit dude. I'm a smaller framed guy. So like, when people are selling shirts, I'm like, I'll order a medium. And people start laughing. Like, what the hell is that? I'm small, and because I accept who I am. But poking fun at myself is a way of accepting who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like I'm cool with it, And, my muscle dudes are like, large, extra large, da, da, da. And I'm like, no, I'll take a medium, bro. Makes me look bigger anyways. But I'm just saying, like, toning all that down would bring a lot of peace. In fact,
exactly.
If we just relaxed and just like, hey, I get you. As long as, look, if you're going to dish it, you got to be able to take it. And that's how I grew up. You're going to dish some shit, you got to be able to take some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that balances out. That karmic balance. But then if I dish it and then you bring it back and I'm all offended and, you can't do that. Now, how's that? You know what I'm saying?
Where do you think the balance is right now? Talking about the United States.
It depends. The balance that you see, a perception is reality, or the real world. Yeah. I think the real world, the real America is chill. Black, white, Hispanic, whatever. The 80%.
Yeah, when it comes to face value, everyone's chill.
Everybody's chill. 80% of us are cool. Let's go grab a drink. It's that 20%
that are marketed,
that are presented to make the 80% believe it's like the 20%.
Exactly.
Where it's like, I'm offended, you're racist. That's 20%. But it's portrayed as if that's the majority.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case. I think most America, whatever political party or whatever spiritual religion, faith you are, most America is chill.
Yeah. And we say most. We're
not saying 80, I said like 80%.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, again, Nate plays basketball. There are different nationalities, and but it's predominantly black culture, black sport, right? They're, obviously white people, Hispanic people. My son's Asian, so he plays too. So, but when I go to these games, it's chill. It's totally chill. Different. Everybody's just like, okay, we're here to watch
play basketball,
guys play basketball. Yeah, totally chill. Yeah. In fact, some of my closest friends are from the basketball world, not Asian, none. I mean, there's good people. Yeah. And I think that represents 80%. Now, obviously, you're going to get gangsters and this, that, and the other and overexcited people, but that's the rare part of it. Yeah. But here's the problem is that little piece can paint a bad picture for everyone else.
Yeah, they kind of become the representation.
They're right. Right. So turn off TV, bro. Honestly. Yeah. Turn it off. Live your life. Like, if you're watching TV, that means you're not doing something else productive. Turn it off. Be careful of who you follow on social, what you look at on social.
Absolutely.
Right? Like curate that for your own mental health to understand what the real world looks like. Yeah. There's a lot of love out there. I promise you that.
There is. Absolutely.
I promise you that.
So one last question I want to ask is like, now that we've discussed all these charts of the votes, like, okay, we're going over here, but then the other person comes and spikes over here. Like, the question people might have is like, should I even bother voting?
You should absolutely vote. In November, you should absolutely vote to avoid things like that. If you want the truest election, you got to vote. If you have 100% of the 100% pool of voters voting, you can't fudge the numbers.
Yeah.
Right? If we have 300, I don't know, let's call it 200 million eligible voters, and we get 200 million votes, how do you fudge that? Exactly. Now, if we have 200 million voters and 230 million votes come back, where does 30 million come from?
Yeah.
Right? But voting is an absolute must, especially in this election, because, okay, let's put it this way. One side thinks there was cheating involved in 2020. Okay? So if you really want to put away the idea that cheating is an option, that delta, that gap needs to be so big that people like Venezuelans will call BS on that closing that gap.
70-30 overnight overtook,
Like a 15% gap, you could be like, yeah, man, maybe there was a bump of 15%. But when it's like, if you really believe the polls, if it's like a 70% jump at 3 a.m., people are gonna be like, oh, hell no.
people are
what the? Gonna be a hell no.
Eating a breakfast
right? So on the one side, where if you think there was cheating involved in 2020, you have to go out and vote. Now on the flip side is if you want to prevent the other dude from winning, who has arguably the lead, you have to go out and vote too.
Yeah.
Right? So either side, you got to go out and vote.
Yeah. Because the worst thing is if you don't vote, you're not moving any needle.
You're not moving any needle. Yeah.
Even if you think voting doesn't have any impact, even if it has like a 5% impact, you're still doing good.
It doesn't even have to be 5. It could be 0.01% impact.
But you're making sure that if you don't vote, you're not making any impact.
You're doing a zero. You're being basically, as going back to our first clip, you're being like the Christian, not drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, whatever. And if you don't vote, you can't complain. Like if you're gonna dish it, you got to take it. If you don't vote, and then after the vote, 2025, whatever happens, you can't bitch.
Yeah.
Did you vote? No. Okay, well, don't bitch. You're willing to accept whatever outcome is gonna happen.
Exactly.
Right? Now, if you voted and something else happened contrary to your vote, okay, you have a right to bitch, Mm-hmm. But if you don't vote, don't bitch.
Yeah.
That should be a slogan, dude.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
I like that. Yeah, and this election is going to be like one of the more important ones because
it's probably the most important if we have one. If we have one now.
If we have one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, because it's just looking at the world state right now, like wars in the Middle East, wars.
Yeah, I'll leave you with this question.
Yeah.
If Biden, I don't know if he gave a reason why he's not running.
We didn't.
But arguably, he's not running because of medical condition. Because he did say, the only way I'm not going to run is due to medical reasons, is what he said.
I guess the reasons were already premeditated. Because
so if he's not running, who is the current president of the country?
That's a good question.
Because he said, I'm not going to run. The only condition I'm not going to run is because of medical. So that means he has a medical condition preventing him from running.
Maybe he changed his mind.
A last minute flip. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Maybe it was like, you know what?
Arguably, some people are saying Michelle is coming back.
If Michelle comes back, it's gonna be a tight race. I think it's gonna be a tight race.
But here's the thing, bro. Like, you're the CEO of a company.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna hire somebody because of their qualifications and their achievements and what they've done successfully, or are you gonna hire somebody because of their sex and their race?
First one.
Yeah. So you, as a voter, you're the CEO. You're a shareholder of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Are you going to vote because of somebody's? Are you going to vote for somebody because of their sex and their color, their race,
Yeah.
as the sole reason for voting for that person?
Yeah, just as an individual, look at what that person is doing for you. Like, does it?
Or their track record of
Yeah.
what they have done
Exactly.
for others.
Yeah.
Not for you, for others.
Yeah. Yeah. For example, if you guys think that Kamala has like the best plans for you guys, like vote for her. We're not saying
What are
that.
those plans?
Yeah.
I mean, what are the plans?
That's a different topic, but I'm just saying we're not like fully telling
No,
you
I'm
guys
just
to,
I'm saying generically.
generically, yeah.
Generically.
Yeah.
I have two attorneys in my office, right? One is accomplished, successful lawyer, helped thousands of clients. He can be an asshole sometimes. Generally, he's a nice guy. And you have somebody else that says, I'm here because look at me. No track record whatsoever. But I'm here. Oh, let's just say they're female and Asian. Right? I have no female lawyers. I have no Asian lawyers. I'm Asian. Who am I going to hire?
Qualified people.
The qualified person, man.
Absolutely.
I don't care what your sex. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what you look like.
Yeah.
Can you get the job done?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can be an asshole. I'll deal with that. But if you get the job done, you're hired.
Yeah. As long as you're winning every case.
That's how I look
That's
at
all that matters.
this race. That's how I personally look at this election.
Yeah.
Two candidates standing in front of me. What have you done? What's your plan? What have you done? What's your plan? It's inarguable that during the Trump presidency, we had the best economy in the history of the United States. The lowest taxes. What he allocated $2 billion to historically black colleges. Things were going well. No wars.
No wars.
No wars.
No wars. People forget that. Yeah.
Other country leaders respected our country.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we want that again? Tell me.
I think where he took the most hit was COVID.
Well, that's a whole topic of something else. But
Yeah.
I think he was painted into a corner.
Exactly. Because
Painted in a corner.
like it
It was a damned if I do,
yeah.
damned if I do. Let me take
Exactly,
the
yeah,
lesser
yeah.
of bad routes. But I'm talking about where we need now. Our economy is not great.
Mm-hmm.
People are borrowing their credit cards to pay their rent or mortgage.
Look at the borders. Yeah.
So the economy is not great. Inflation's out of control. Gas is high. All that stuff,
Yeah.
right? Real estate market, if you really dig, is terrible,
Yeah. Absolutely.
right? So, people say, well, the stock market's up, but the stock market's like 5 companies holding up the whole stock market,
Exactly.
right? NVIDIA and a couple others. Let's be real, right? So what do we need the most?
Stability. I would say.
We need a turnaround.
Because
Right? And this is just my personal opinion. There's bad things about Trump too. If he makes it to the finish line, there's bad things about it. His stance on the vaccine, all that stuff. There's bad stuff. But I do know during his presidency, best economic times, lowest unemployment, America was the leader, no wars,
Yeah. And
so
those are good points, and I think people don't look at that, and I think that is what the other side is doing well. They're highlighting the other factors that don't really
What,
matter
race
as
and
much.
sex?
Exactly. They quote unquote don't matter as much, but they're amplifying it too much that the other problems
but I think
they put it under the rug.
I think people have woken up to see through that.
Yeah. Now especially.
It's like, what has that gotten us into?
Exactly.
Like, really, what has that gotten us into?
Yeah.
Like, you have Boeing airplanes falling apart because of hiring based on sex and race versus engineering qualifications.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, man, I don't know. Put on that tinfoil hat. We're in for a ride, bro. Buckle up.
Yeah.
Buckle
yeah.
up.
Yeah. My only thing is just look at things logically.
But yeah, you can. Yeah, but logic is a trained way of thinking.
Yeah.
You can say think
yeah.
logically. People have no logic. They have to.
Yeah.
You have to train yourself. That's a business thing. You have
Yeah.
to train yourself to think logically.
Exactly. No, as in like look at the world within the past even couple of months. Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine.
It's just it's chaos.
Yeah,
It's chaos. But see, in chaos does what? Chaos amplifies anxiety and fear. And when you're in an anxious and fearful state, you lose control of logic.
Yeah.
And you're acting entirely based on responsive and reflexive emotions. So if I was the controller of the planet, I would keep elevated chaos and anxiety as high as possible so people aren't really looking at what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a constant state of anxiety. Racist, oh my God, you insulted me. Like there's videos where when people lose an argument on a certain side of the aisle, they just scream.
Yeah, they just start screaming.
Because they lost the argument.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to scream.
Yeah.
That's where the world is at. Everybody's screaming.
But no one's understanding.
No one's understanding.
Yeah.
And so just bring it down, dude. Just chill.
Yeah.
Just chill. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Just look
It's
at it.
not that
for what it
important.
is, yeah.
And, as I tell a lot of people, not everything is a level 5. DEFCON 5 is like we're going to war. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Not everything's level 5, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just relax. And if you calm that down on a global level, like people will start seeing clearly. People will understand, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
But you keep everybody in this anxious, chaotic state. And that's the devil's hand also. Right?
Absolutely.
Create chaos. The creator of chaos. Create chaos. So people are like, racist.
Yeah. They tried creating a chaos when they try to
Yeah.
shoot Trump.
But
Yeah.
once you understand the game, you see all through the bullshit. This Olympics, that's bullshit, bro. Next.
Next.
Try harder. You know what I'm saying? Like next. No, I'm not going to fall for that. So anyway, crazy, man. POV, dude.
POV.
You brought some heat. Like
Yeah.
bang, bang, 50 caliber, man. I saw the Wolverine Deadpool movie, 250 golden 50 cal.
I still have to see that one. Is
No,
it
it's
good?
good.
It's good.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
All right.
There's a lot of it's a good ending to the thing, but like there's some political stuff in there too. Like, but whatever, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Now there's a lesson from the movie. So you know how Ryan Reynolds got the part. We'll finish with this. How he got the part in Deadpool?
No.
The original Deadpool 1.
No.
He learned that they were casting Deadpool, and forever he wanted to play Deadpool.
Mm-mm.
So instead of going to an audition or whatever, he paid for like a 10-minute movie to be made of him as Deadpool.
Oh wow.
Like a pilot. He filmed a 10-minute pilot of him as Deadpool. So I don't know, paid whatever $1 million to make his own little mini Deadpool movie and sent it to the audition people, the producers, and they're like, yeah, that's Deadpool. So, if
There
you
you
want
go.
something, take it in your own hands.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask for it, go out and get it.
Yeah.
That's the lesson there. So anyway,
I think it came to your podcast, Optimize versus Optimizer.
who said again?
Optimist versus Optimizer.
Optimus versus He optimized his opportunity to become Deadpool. So
Absolutely.
there you go. So anyway, thank you for listening. I know this is a little controversial. These are just opinions and speculations, but just idea on some chaos in the world. Honestly, I might sell a line of tinfoil hats for everyone out there. Be entrepreneurial about this. But in any case, I want to finish the show as I finish my days. If you're new to the show, I always, before my head hits a pillow, I close my eyes. I always thank God and the universe for another day to be great, inspirational. Arib, thank you very much, man. Great episode. You brought some heat and fire today. Glad to bring you another episode. Again, if you're knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. I think we've talked about or shed some light in some ways to think about maneuvering in this chaos. And believe me, expect even more chaos over the next 2 to 3 months. I don't have a crystal ball, but I just feel that's where we're going. In any case, please do share the show. If you're knowledge swole, share the show. Be great today, but be even more grateful. Looking to bringing you episode 120 as we hopefully consistently weekly produce the show and bring another episode to you very, very soon. Thanks for listening.